European season is finally over, and today I have a guest for us to rank the 10 best players across the 25-26 seasons. I'm sure we're going to have different lists. I'm very, very sure that because obviously everybody does not consume football the same way. But whose list do you incline to the most? Let me know at the end of the video. Obviously, there have been some incredible players. This season was very slow. This is when it comes to player performances. At the beginning of the season, 3 players started out very, very hot. Were they able to maintain their form till the end of the season? We'll find out. Some players started the season slow. Some players were just good throughout the season and then picked up towards the end. And some players were mid for most of the season and then the last 1 month they were very good. Right? So this list, please, we are accounting for everything you did across the season. One kind of people that will just watch April and May of a football season and choose his best players from there. No. What you did across the season have to count. Me personally, what you did across the season, your trophy counts, your obviously impact in your team, GA, whatever it is, depending on your position, and just how far above the rest you are across the season. Now, my guest with me here, I'm sure he has his own criteria.
Yeah, so it's similar, but I just have I feel like the feeling you give me throughout the season. Were you top? Like, do I see you as a top player from start to end? Yes, sometimes you might have dropped, but like, were you for most of the time considered, up there? You cannot just have okay, yeah, we played in hand in a couple of knockout games and then this, and also you cannot have
A good first half of the season and then
yeah, I not have this, and then you now go trophyless or this. So like whatever you do has to impact on something.
And key something here,
Yes.
you have to have played in European continental football.
Yes.
Please.
So it's really Champions League and Europa League for it to be considered. Exactly.
I'm sure some people already rat it, but yeah, like playing one game a week throughout the season,
Yeah,
you don't count for
Yeah, they are not playing
like
sports.
start padding against I don't know Brentford and Burnley.
Let's not be too specific,
Yeah, man, like it's cool with your league team of the season and league player of the season. Like I feel like I'm just doing that. You know that Kanye meme where he was like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna say this.
So anyway, let's
The thing about the red hat that drove me to a point of exhaustion, which was misdiagnosed by I'm not going to say what race, what people, doctor, and what hospital, and what media went to. We know I can't say that. It was a Jewish doctor.
I'm not gonna say what race the doctor is, but it's Bruno Fernandes. So yeah. Anyways,
okay.
Number 10. You know what? You go first. Who is your 10th?
Okay, so my 10th best player is Joao Neves. Yeah, Joao Neves.
Top.
Yeah, I over the season, I just have a thing with PSG players, right? A lot of them didn't even get to play that one game, except from Vitinha.
Let's not do this.
Players like.
Let's not do this.
I will.
Let's not do this.
I will, because at the end of the day,
I remember at the beginning of the season, these guys were dropping like flies because they had played too much football.
You can't play 20 league games and then call yourself and then say you're playing the same sport, right? It is not. And one could even argue, even though I don't think that is the only reason, but all of the reasons why Premier League teams, yes, it's the reason.
Because I remember, I am old enough to remember when PSG were doing poorly in the Champions League. Everybody was attributing this same reason as why we were doing poorly in the Champions League. And when the league was doing, and when the Prem teams are raising, everybody always says that the competitiveness in the league helps them in Europe. When it doesn't work, the competitiveness in the league makes them tired in Europe.
Enough. Did they play as many games as others in the season? No. Simple as.
This same league still continues to beat PSG when they were choking out Leeds in Europe.
Fine.
This same still continues to beat them. So we have to pick one side at this point. Pick a side.
Fine and good. But I don't see Declan Rice being far off. Declan Rice is not in my 10, unfortunately. But like Declan Rice played a whole lot of games. Like Imagine a player that doesn't miss games and then has that average, as in his average is that high. You get. I also felt like Joao
Neves
Neves,
mocked him sha when they played.
Joao Neves, like
That.
his best games were his best games. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So his best games were better than the Canadians' best games, and there were numerous towards the end of the season, right? And he came up clutch a lot of times. Sometimes he went to an attacker.
That final, he was my man of the match. That
So
final.
yeah, he was great. Like when you have that kind of impact, right, and you end up winning the double, it counts for something at the end of the day. So that's why I think Joao Neves edges out Declan Rice for me in my number 10 spot.
My number 10 spot is Decas. I put Declan Rice in my top 10. Arsenal finally broke their dock, their 22 years dock.
Yeah.
And he was, for me, the most impactful player in that run.
Yeah.
He deserves a shout. And they were in Champions League final. I don't think Arsenal will be represented much in this kind of lists, just because their team was not really based on individual moments, right? They were based on a team as a unit defending together.
Yeah.
And defenders are not usually like favored in lists like this, right? So
it depends, but anyway, so
you have to be like,
you don't have to force an Arsenal player into the list if you don't feel like they should.
Yeah, but I feel like across the season you can make an argument that they can deserve top 10.
No, I'm not saying you deserve top 10. Like I said, Gordon just edged that. Another day I could have picked Declan Rice. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, some of you will make your list and then you'll be like, but Arsenal won the league and they got to the final. They have to be at least two of their players. You don't have to force an Arsenal player.
I understand that, but obviously we are still looking at it through this lens. Who were the best players in Europe?
Exactly. And one misconception people guys will make is, okay, yeah, this was the best team. So they are players.
I hate that. Oh my god, I hate that so much.
It doesn't have to be that way.
I hate that thing so much.
And I feel like a lot of people will want to sneak. Not necessarily you want to force it. Even in their mind, we tell them otherwise, but there will be some other players that didn't have as successful seasons, but had great performances. 9 is Nuno Mendes. Now, Nuno Mendes, he had a very, very spectacular season. He just didn't play as much as some of the other players on higher in this list. But Nuno Mendes was very vital. There were some games that he was PSG's best player and one of the best players in Ligue 1 this season. We all know that fraudulent Dembele's Ligue 1 player of the season, right? That all was supposed to go to Ella Vitinha or Nuno Mendes, but they were very, very consistent and they were helping PSG win some tight games and not lose some tight games because the Ligue 1 season was a bit tight at the top, right? So he played a huge part. He was one of the most consistent players in PSG this season, even if he did not play as many games as some of the other players.
His highs are really high.
Oh my god! One thing about Nuno Mendes, like I noticed a lot, is the way he drives the ball. My goodness, he doesn't drive like a fullback. I'm telling you, he doesn't drive like a fullback. So anyway, that's Nuno Mendes. I feel like he deserves a higher list, but let's see, maybe next season he will do even better because he's one of the best left backs we have seen.
The gap between Nuno Mendes and the second best left back in Europe is like, it's significant. Anyways, my 9th position is Neves. We've talked about him already, Joao Neves.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible player. I think my 9th position. I don't think we need to go much on Joao Neves. I really like that. Like, I'm damn near in love with that player.
Yeah.
He's my kind of midfielder.
So anyway, my 8th position is Kvaratskhelia.
Whoa! That's low.
Yeah, I know. But
Whoa!
He did not have. I will back it up now. Now, in the league campaign,
please don't bring football.
I'm not putting rating. I'm not putting rating here, right? Vara in the league campaign, right, had 8 goals and 4 assists.
In how many games?
28 games.
How many starts?
He played a lot of games. He was not injured this season. He played a lot of games. I remember we were talking a lot at the beginning of the season that I thought that was not playing very well. And in fact, it wasn't even.
I feel like
he wasn't even starting Ligue 1 games because I feel like Enrique was like, Barcelona wasn't performing enough in the league. You get. So, like, what was the insults we were giving Saka and Palmer, like 11G, 12G in Premier League, right?
They were not
which
producing.
which one can argue is a more superior league than League One? Yes or no?
They were not producing
Good.
16 GA in knockout stage, man.
And then I'm there, you better on them, right? But I'm saying you shouldn't wonder why Barcelona is 8 on my list. When you look at his league campaign, league campaigns mean something. They mean something,
Yes.
right?
But they mean something.
The league campaign is on value, right? On just value of effort is equal to the Champions League. So why do we treat it as if it's lower, right? So you have other players doing a lot in the league, but not as well in the Champions League. But then someone that's not even doing anything in the league, and then we'll take him, because a lot of Champions League, we'll take him far over the other person. No, it doesn't work that way. Because your efforts, like it is, you have your best, but then you have, according, we are human beings, we have stamina over a long time, we have fatigue and all that. Right? There's only a certain amount of energy you can give within a whole season, right? So when you are not giving as much energy in some other thing, and then you pour it in another thing, right? Somebody else that had.
Give me
explain too much.
8 is
Anyway,
too low for
he's not too low because
I won't say he's
you
number
can
one,
have
but
12 goals and assists in the league.
And have 16 GA in the Champions League, please.
12 goals and assists.
16 GA in the Champions
Yeah,
League.
now the thing is,
So that's
these players
strategy.
above. Wait,
That's strategy all comes
these
already.
players above. Wait, these players above have similar GA in Champions League, but far better league campaigns.
In the
knockout
stage.
Yes, that is a ranking.
He
Right?
was winning his team's
Okay.
knockout football, man.
Will you agree that? Wait, will you agree that when you're ranking players, when you're ranking performances?
So how many leaders do you rank?
Wait. When you're ranking performances, the performance you have on somebody is only unfair if the person above is not as good, right?
What are you saying?
If somebody is 8, it is only unfair if somebody in top 7 doesn't deserve to be in top 7 above that person. Right?
True, yes.
So when you see my list, you
But
understand.
I feel like some people have to outweigh some people, man.
Yeah, we'll prove it. We'll prove it.
My own list, my 8th position is Vitinha. Vitinha is 8th position in my opinion. Again, consistent across
It was the
the
best
season.
midfielder this season.
It was absolutely incredible. Unlike another center midfielder, he actually performed in the Champions League. That's the other one did not make my list. I won't say his name, I won't say his race, but
It's but who by
I'm
the
not
way?
gonna say his
Who
race.
by the
I'm
way?
not gonna say
Who
his
is
race.
steady? Who by the way had an amazing season just by his standards, right? But yeah, he's not supposed to be in top 10.
I watched him.
I don't think he's top 10.
Let's not do this.
He's not top
I
10
watched
best
him.
player.
I watched him.
Good. I'm not arguing with you.
Who is not top 10 best player?
Pedri is not top 10
Oh
best
yeah,
player.
yes.
Yeah. For me, I have Vitinha higher. Vitinha for me is PSG's best player this season. 7, right? My number 7 is Kylian Mbappe. Now, Mbappe had a very good season. I don't like to judge players just by their own expectations. I don't do the relation to other players. Mbappe had a very, very good season. Too much penalties on my liking, missed too many games on my liking, and even most importantly, he didn't win anything. And that has to count for something. What you do has to contribute to something. But Mbappe was singled out as one of this problem, which I believe he is part of it, but I don't believe he is the biggest problem in Real Madrid.
I feel like it was scapegoated personally.
So
Was nigga talking about Vinicius?
but it was clearly Real Madrid's best player. But I have to warn you, my number 7 might turn heads, right? Because you might ask why do I have
Number
that person
6.
above? Sorry, my number 6, right?
I have Mbappe as my number 7 as well. So again, it was incredible. Started out the season on fire, by the way.
Yeah.
Him and the other 2 guys who obviously get mentioned in this list
were
on fire throughout this. Especially that until like Christmas break, bro. They were like undisputed top 3. However you arrange them is up to your own personal preference. They had same amount of G or something similar, ridiculous amount of goals, especially. Right, 3 of them scored. Right. Second half of the season, it kind of fizzled out for Mbappe and Real Madrid. They lost momentum, but ultimately, Mbappe being 7th is not bad.
So it is Luis Diaz. Now I have Luis Diaz above Mbappe, and I have my reason for it. Right,
Luis Diaz.
Yeah. All right, Luis Diaz. Now I'm going to use numbers also because it's not like Luis Diaz off for some time or anything.
He didn't match him in G. It was G.
I will show you. Luis Diaz, right, had about 45 GA this season in 51 games.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, for Bayern.
Oh,
He had 45 GA this season for Bayern.
G guy.
He had about 29 GA in 32 games in Bundesliga. Right? You see. So Mbappe, yeah, he was injured, but at the end of the day, what was his performance? He had 30 GA in La Liga, and he had about 49 GA. Now, 45, 49 GA, you might think, oh, this is trying to touch Bundesliga a bit. But at the end of the day, Luzern has 0 penalties. You get Mbappe had about 11 penalties or 12, sorry, 11 penalties. Right? Remove that from his GA. You understand? But I already on similar levels. What now differentiates, or maybe you can even argue Mbappe is
Winning,
better
winning.
because like so Luzias did it and contributed to a double, right? While also beating Real Madrid, beating Mbappe's team to qualify for the next round of the Champions
And
League.
he scored the winner in that time.
Yeah, he scored the winner in that. So like it accounts for something. So when you think about it in just context of this season, I think it adds up.
First, my number 6 is Erling Braut Haaland.
Not really a bit higher, just a bit higher, but yeah.
Erling Braut Haaland is probably my highest Premier League player in this list. It's crazy because
I believe he was supposed to be the best Premier League player.
It was not. Funny enough, I think we actually rank higher than all Premier League players in the world.
You will, no doubt.
His clout is like, I mean, no, far, but
Let's see what happens in the World Cup.
Anyways, Haaland was incredible, especially first half of the season. Like after half of the season,
Goodness.
we're talking about the three of them, right? I feel like he was just with 0.01 points above them.
Goodness.
If you account for team strength, account for all of those stuff, right?
Yeah.
He was doing their level in a worse team.
Yeah.
And I feel like the team kind of showed the second half of the season, even if he had a very awful, I feel like he hit the lowest point among them.
All the three.
But I also feel like he picked the highest among them, and probably picked the highest in this
Is he
season.
not supposed to be the most anti-footballer among all the three? Yet he has the most assists among all of them.
Yeah. It was incredible. Did he? Does he have the highest pick this season?
Under 10 assists this season.
I mean, like in Europe,
Pick.
does he have the highest pick?
Depends on what you mean by pick. Like stretched out pick, yes.
Not stretched out pick. Like
Because Kane had a moment where he scored a hat-trick in Pokal final.
sorry, one camera.
Anyway, so he wasn't so. I mean, like,
I feel like it was November period. That really picked the highest for me.
yeah. Then it was that time I was scoring 5 goals against Moldova and things like that.
The Israel game, the game against them, the Moldova game, the Italy game, and those Premier League games in that period. I feel like that was also November
So I
strike.
never forget that.
I don't think a player picked higher this
I
season.
never forget that way you got the ball and then you just holy. Number 5 is still Haaland we're talking about.
So we also talk about Haaland. Let me go to my number 5. Number 5 is Dembele.
Dembele was not on my list.
Usman Balondo. How can Dembele don't make your list?
I'm not convinced that over the season Dembele was top.
In Champions League, it was incredible.
At some point, yes.
I think he was the second best player in the run.
Was he? The games that it was not lights out, Cole.
In the running. He was good against Chelsea, good against Liverpool, good against.
Yeah, when they were better players, right? But
Fakela was better than him, but
like some of those games, João Neves was better than him. Some of them, Vitinha was better than him.
Anyways,
and Vitinha, I have Vitinha my best PSG player because he was the most consistent and maintained that level.
Yeah, running this league title gimmick too much. This league campaign gimmick. I think Usman Dembele was the league. League player of the year. Fugazi or whatever.
So Vitinha was the best player in Ligue 1. Vitinha was one of the best.
I know it's right, but wow, I put Dembele above a lot of players.
Yeah, so like, you have to justify why. Why? Because let's look at the numbers. Right? Let's look at the numbers.
Funny enough, his number per 90 is probably the best in Europe this season.
Calm down.
So calm down. Look now.
Yeah.
33 GA in 44 games. How many starts are in those games?
Stop it. So I'm talking about stats now.
See now, how many minutes he played in the league?
No, I'm thinking about stats.
Wait. He played 1,000 minutes and he had 18 GA per 90. Goals, assists. Bro,
Leave that Farmers League alone. The Champions
in
League.
the Champions League, per 90. Goals, 0.87 assists. 0.2, that's like over one per
He was not
90.
the best. Anyway, please let's move on.
I'm sure if we GA per 90 goals is the best.
It's a bias.
He's the
Just-
best.
just because Dembele is the best player in
33
PSG.
GA.
When people believe best player,
33
doesn't mean what-
GA. oh, is what I'm
Just
talking about.
because Dembele is best player in PSG doesn't mean he was their best player this season.
I understand that, and I am a PSG player above him. Sha.
Vasquez was better
But-
than Dembele this season.
Anyways, let us
It's
move
not
on to
Dembele
number.
this season.
My opinion, though,
You are never rely on Dembele this season. No,
No.
Dembele this season. That's fact.
September.
Eh? Anyway, so let's move on.
You're number 4.
Okay, my number 4.
I'm checking my list.
My number 4, I have Vitinha. Yeah, Vitinha is finally here.
Oh,
So,
bad boy. Vitinha.
I've made my case for Vitinha already. He was PSG's best player. I think that is supposed to be claimed, but apparently not. So,
Anyways, my number 4 is Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia is for me the 4th best. I think he put him where?
yeah, Vasquez was
He
my
put him
number.
very low, man. Like
my number
8.
8, yeah.
8.
You can't have 12 G in the league. I'm sorry, you cannot
I have
12 G in the league.
16 Champions League. Okay, I feel like this is I'm good. Before. But yeah, please, put
You
some
cannot have 12. We're insulting Saka, Palmer, and Foden for having 10.
They did not have 16 Champions League.
Nobody saying they was as bad as them.
They did not have
I'm
16
for
Champions
this
League.
consider one of the best players in the world for this season. I'm sorry, you should not have 12 goal assists in the league. Number 3, it pains me a lot to do this, but it cannot be number 1 or number 2. My number 3 is Lamine Yamal.
So we have the same number 3, so let's just do it.
Lamine Yamal, best player in the world. Right. I feel like Barcelona and injury is letting down.
He had
That's-
there was a stretch for some of the season for Bulgaria recovering. It wasn't great at all.
Still by his own
Chelsea
standard. Still by his own standard. Still by his own standard.
Chelsea game.
Still by his own standard. Still Barcelona's best player and Barcelona was winning games. It's just that it wasn't the same Yamal. It doesn't mean like it was performing.
Second half of the season
poorly.
though. Oh my god.
I remember like
So it got into a
like,
different
every
level.
single week I'm going to watch Yamal.
He got the
La
different
Liga.
level second half.
Every single week I'm going to watch
For me, he got enough rest and he was able to. I feel like you're one of those players that take time before they. I'm worried this World Cup.
That's
I'm worried.
Copa del Rey. What was that game that he scored hat-trick? Was it
La Liga game now.
Yeah, and then the game against Atletico Madrid in Copa del Rey semi-final. My goodness, that second leg. Oh my god!
Bruh, the game
Watching
football
that
that
game was
he was
something
generating
else.
this season was insane.
That game was something else. But anyway, we'll glaze them out on that day.
I can glaze him for life.
Yeah, do we have the same number 2?
I have Olise.
I have Olise also.
Okay, so we have the same top 3.
Yeah. Yeah. I still strongly believe that it is objective. I'm about to say Olise. But at the end of the day, in a season, right, who was better?
Olise broke Messi's record this season of assists.
Did he?
I think he did. Messi now is him, Messi
Very
KDB
chance.
that has 31 assists.
I don't know. Well, anyway, yeah, he did it.
He broke
So,
Messi and KDB's record.
yeah, I think by confidence.
I argue the two best creative passers of.
Doesn't mean he's as creative as them, but still very, very important. You have to
He's very, very creative.
I need to tax a lot of these Bundesliga players because, like I'm sorry. You know, every week you see.
He did have like 20 something GA last season and he had like.
Yeah, he had about 22 G and he had 45 G this season. Sorry, you cannot tell me Diaz is how old that it's only become 2 times better. You get so like. But anyway, like I tax it, and at the end of the day, right? What company has been able to create there is just so phenomenal, right? Yeah, you could say the same for Flick, but at the end of the day, right? It is not as much because La Liga and Bundesliga are not the same. You get, and then you also see games where it is not even just that Flick is the one making them perform that way.
Lincoln scored a hat-trick in the final. I mean, they win that final.
I don't see 6. Every 6 life. So like, man, they're just enjoying life that place. And
I'll be too, like, you want to attack, I'll run there.
But
And they'll soon
I
get the
think-
Champions League, right? So
the
just enjoy
you
it.
say,
They'll
we
start.
both agree Kane is the
Yeah,
best.
it's the best.
I think he's our number one. But
Kane
like,
has been the
um,
undisputed. I won't say undisputed, but he's been the best.
yeah. No,
This
but if you use just purely by his numbers, he has blown everyone out
But
of
then you have to
the water.
remove like
But
45% of that.
taxes,
So.
taxes, and then so the penalties were penalties were a lot.
Guy was parting those kind of God of
That's
mercy.
a lot. I think every week some games that came
Hey, you have
before
to
two penalties. Really tired.
Why are they fouling those guys in the box?
like you guys like allow them.
I'm one of his biggest haters, but I can't hate. Him and Olise have done something this
Yeah.
season though.
Big games.
Big games, tax, they've like erased it. So
Yeah.
for that, kudos to them.
Yeah,
Best
he
player.
has proven his critics wrong.
Yeah,
I don't like English players because I feel like English are so overhyped.
he's not one of them.
He has proven that he's not one of them.
He's not one
Right.
of them.
And I used to say that Aguero was better than Kane. I think I have to have a rethink. But Kane even has an all-time good, very good Champions League record.
Yeah,
Right.
Aguero doesn't actually.
Yeah, unlike Aguero, that was just
Suarez was horrible.
so. But yeah, he's still not as good as everybody knows that. At the end of the day, I can comfortably say that. Not comfortably, I can say that
Behind the big three, is he the best?
the
Big three of strikers of this generation.
Suarez, Lewandowski, and Benzema.
Mm.
There are a lot of strikers.
So he's not the best.
Ibrahimovic.
Eh?
It's not Ibrahimovic.
Mm.
It's not. Ibrahimovic scored
Okay,
500 goals.
that's a question for another.
500 goals.
Immobile. You know, I said Immobile to kill. God, those are horrible things for Harry Kane, God.
Cavani.
BCM merchant.
Anyway,
He had 50 BCM and 30 goals on one season. Cavani was a BCM merchant, man.
okay, a player like Shevchenko now.
He's not the same generation now. That's
Kane.
another generation.
Okay, I think
he's
it's
higher
the
than
century.
no, I said it. No.
21st century.
He's better than him.
Hey, okay, this.
Eto is better than him.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not talking about that. Talking about that generation.
Okay, this generation.
Funny enough, his generation is it their generation. I think his generation is that Salah, De Bruyne.
Yeah.
They kind of intertwined a bit. I think of that generation of players, it was him and Lukaku that were like the top of where he has blitzed Lukaku.
But anyway, Harry Kane, best player of the 25-26 season.
But what happened at the World Cup is our Ballon d'Or
Yeah.
winner.
Sure.
Let's know what you think. Whose list do you agree with more? We'll put the list, both of our lists on the screen. Whose list do you agree with more? And I'll see you next time.